accomplish is they really want to boost the economy. They've had a lot of slow growth that's happened over the past 20 years, and with the dollar being the main currency there, adopting Bitcoin as legal tender provides an opportunity for those that are receiving the remittances from other countries. 23% of the GDP come from expatriates working abroad. So it's a real boost to their economy potential, and over the long term, this should have a big bootstrapping effect for the Bitcoin economy.
So then, in terms of its use then, what are retailers in El Salvador saying about this shift?
So for retailers, just as humans are, it's tough to make changes. So the change has been tough for retailers to take underway, but when you can start to accept a new form of payment, and what do people always have on them? They have their phone on them. You know, we forget our wallets a lot of times when we go out, but we do have our phones. So I think over the short term, there will be some hurdles to overcome, but over the mid and long term, this is going to be a great revolution for the country, and they really are the ones that are leading the way. So I think it's a really good thing. But retailers will just need to start to adopt and understand that this is going to be positive for their business models over the long term.
Now, it's interesting because Bitcoin has been around for several years now, but a lot of people really still don't understand what it is and how it works. So what about consumers themselves? How are they feeling about it?
So as the law came into effect, there's been some headaches and obstacles for gaining the $30 that the president had promised the citizens to receive. And that's kind of normal with technology. When things roll out, you look at the first iPhone, it didn't even have an app store. So there's been a little bit of tailwinds here for getting that and $30 and being able to obtain it. But that's just kind of normal with technology. There's going to be that. And I think once the citizens understand the value proposition it provides and the savings that they could have, instead of losing 2% on the dollars each year, you can own Bitcoin, which over the long run, in even a 10-year period, it's gone up 200% year over year. So I think that'll be shown as price rises through the fourth quarter of this year.
Now, we did see, as with any new technology, a bit of a hiccup on day one. You had a lot of people trying to download the Chivo digital wallet and finding it unavailable on the main app stores because demand was so high. How much is actually riding on the success or failure of this, not just in terms of future Bitcoin adoption, but perhaps how it could be adopted in other countries as legal tender?
I don't think that just having the software be implemented and available is going to make or break Bitcoin, and also for the country make or break it as legal tender. I think it's just one of those things that once the version is updated, the software is updated, the servers are running, I think it'll be perfectly fine. It's just people need to start to be educated upon how Bitcoin works, the value proposition in it, and how it can benefit their lives. With so much remittances happening in El Salvador, this is really something that's going to be helpful for them. It's just it's hard in the short term, as I've previously said.
And as we've seen, cryptocurrencies can take some wild swings when it comes to their value. But what do you see as the biggest opportunities and the biggest challenges in having cryptocurrency as legal tender?
So one of the challenges is the volatility in Bitcoin right now. And some of the aspects that's going on with it, as in today's drop, is that was mostly due to leverage trading. And we had a price rise from 29,000 and change all the way up to over 52,000 recently. So that's a 75% gain since the end of July. And when you think of a multi-billion-dollar, $500 billion asset class growing that fast, it's only normal that it would drop 10 or 20% after growing 75% in a 45-day run.
So as you look at some of the countries who are going to be potentially looking at what's happening in El Salvador, what does this mean for those who are deciding between a cryptocurrency or a digital version of their existing currencies, or just sticking with traditional banking?
I think that they're going to be sticking with traditional banking for the time period, but I think as El Salvador has proven, the prisoner's dilemma is in effect here, and those who act first will be rewarded. So I think that this struggling economy should have a boost, and we will see that in the coming years.
And are there any countries that you see on the horizon that could be next, or perhaps could be due for something of a makeover with their currencies for a cryptocurrency?
So right now, for the Global Crypto Adoption Index in 2021, 4 of those countries reside in Latin America. So I think a lot of the struggling economies will see the benefit of this adoption, and once that domino starts to roll, it'll have an effect which many other countries will adopt over time.